At about this time last night, there was a mass rescue happening at Austinmere Beach, south of Sydney. 8 people, believed to be in their teens and early 20s, pulled from a rip by volunteer lifesavers who just happened to be having a meeting in the clubhouse. If they weren't there, we'd probably be reporting on a tragedy. Instead, I can talk to Austinmere Surf Lifesaving Club President Chris Fry about a good news story. Chris, talk about being in the right place at the right time. Without you and your crew, this could have been a tragedy.
Look, we were having our regular management monthly club meeting in the clubhouse just behind us, sitting at some glass windows and looking out to sea, and we noticed some people go for a swim, probably just after 7. We noticed they'd sort of headed straight into a rip. Within a couple of seconds, we actually heard frantic screaming from the beach. So we sprung into action. Some of us grabbed boards and tubes and ran out to the ocean. Other people went to grab more equipment, sent people for defibrillators and oxygen, and we also had someone on the phone to 000. So it was one of the first rescues I've conducted where people didn't just get off the board or out of the ocean and say, thanks a lot, all good. They actually just collapsed on the sand. We went straight through our doctor's ABCD and worked out that they needed oxygen, and we had many members running to get our oxygen bottles, which we put on at that point 4 of the patients, and we only have 4 oxygen bottles.
Wow.
So yeah, those resources were stretched.
So it was all hands on deck, and effectively, if you lot weren't there, lives could have been lost.
Yeah, Deb, I think that is the reality of the situation. And what we see time and time again as surf lifesavers is 1 or 2 people getting in trouble and many of their friends actually jumping in to help, and they don't have the capability or the capacity to actually assist in that situation. And that's how last night turned in a 2 to 5 to 8. We didn't even know how many people we're actually rescuing. We all in an extremely well-oiled machine that has never operated as that well-oiled machine because there's never that many people around and there's never that many people even out of patrol.
And incredibly, this isn't the first time this has happened, is it?
Yeah, that's true, Deb. It was roughly about 12 months ago the exact same situation happened. That was in the middle of another committee meeting, and once again, if we were not here at those late hours in the evening where it was almost on dark to rescue those 4 people, that could have been another tragic event too.
It's just remarkable. You're all volunteers, and I know that you and other surf lifesavers are very humble about what you do, but Chris, what you've all done here for these kids and for their families, they could have been looking at funerals today. Instead, they can count their blessings just ahead of Christmas.
So I don't like to think about it. It gives me a little bit of goosebumps when I think about what might have been. I think it is extremely lucky that everything came together as it did. You know, we're trained to do this. We train each other. We work with each other. We work as a team. Everyone was doing something that meant something last night.
Well, it's a timely reminder for all of us to swim between the flags and not to do it after hours too, which is what unfolded here.
I think it is there. We should always swim between the flags. Don't swim on unpatrolled beaches. We need to not swim after hours. And for those people that don't know how to swim, maybe have a look at getting yourself some swimming lessons. It's a really, really important message. People don't realise how powerful the ocean is. They don't realise how strong it is. What happened last night is something that most of us experienced surf lifesavers would have actually called a low-risk situation. We actually had an incoming tide and a small swell. Had the situation been a larger swell with an outgoing tide, that's a much higher risk situation. So to even have this rip running in that situation and then having these people swim in it and experiencing the power, I hope so many people can learn a lesson from what's happened from this.
Well, thank goodness you were there. Good on you, Chris, and to all of your crew again, thank you.
Well, thanks, Deb, and everyone helped, the whole Austinmere Surf Lifesaving Club. So thanks for having us.